Dear soul, it feels like you found your way back to a place where heavenly guidance has something special and right on time to share with you. If this is your first time encountering a message like this, I truly feel you were meant to hear it. This isn't an accident or a random occurrence. It's as if your name has been spoken in the heavens, and now this message has reached you. It's good to be open because the voice of loving guidance and its messengers have many more things to share, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of them. Right now, before we dive deeper, I want you to hold this thought in your heart. I believe in true love. This isn't just about romance. This is about that divine kind of love that changes lives, opens our spiritual eyes, and breaks every chain holding us back. When you embrace this, you're not just thinking a thought, you're planting a seed of faith. You're saying you're ready for that deep, God-given love to appear and flow into every area of your life. Today's message is as clear as a whisper from above. Heavenly messengers are saying that a certain person has realized what true love is, all because of you. They see you now, truly see you. Not just the outside, not the surface level, not what others might have thought or misunderstood, but your soul, your heart, your inner light. And the power of that realization has shaken them to their core. Dear one, you were brought into this person's life not to fix them or change them, but to show them something pure. And without even trying, without pushing or demanding or begging, you reflected something holy, something that mirrored heavenly patience, grace, and compassion. Maybe this person didn't notice it at first. Maybe they resisted it, even pushed you away or created distance. But that's the thing about divine connections. They're never truly forgotten, even if they seem delayed. Let's pause for a moment to ground this truth in ancient wisdom. One proverb says, "One who finds a true partner finds what is good and receives favor." This isn't just about committed relationships. It's about value. It's about recognition. When someone truly sees you, your worth, your heart, your depth, it's like scales fall from their eyes. And that's exactly what the heavenly messengers are revealing to me today. This person has had their spiritual eyes opened. And listen to this. You didn't have to beg for it. You didn't have to force it. It was your commitment to kindness, your strength in quiet moments, your ability to walk in faith even when misunderstood, that has now spoken louder than any words ever could. The divine used you as a mirror. And now, this person sees themselves more clearly too. That's what true love does. It brings conviction. It heals. It draws us back to our authentic selves. A passage in Isaiah says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" Something new is happening in their heart. A shift, a breaking down of old ways, and a rebuilding. And whether they've reached out to you or not, know this. You are part of what the divine is doing in their soul. You are a chapter in their awakening, a spiritual touch point they cannot ignore. This isn't just about someone having feelings for you. This is about someone realizing the divine design and love. They're understanding that real love doesn't manipulate. Real love doesn't wound. It doesn't push the divine away. Instead, it reflects it. And in your presence, through your prayers, in your steady kindness, they saw a glimpse of heaven, maybe for the first time in a long time. The writings in 1 Corinthians remind us, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. Dear one, you lived that truth without even having to say it. You embodied it. And now the fruit of that quiet faithfulness is blooming. The heavenly messengers are saying they are remembering everything. Your words, your silence, the look in your eyes when you regarded them with pure intentions. The times you chose peace over proving a point. The love you gave, even when it wasn't returned in the same way. You were never invisible. Even when they didn't respond as you hoped, something deep within them took note. Heaven took note. And I feel strongly in my spirit, the heavenly messengers are rejoicing because your seed of love has finally taken root. Now, some of you might be asking, why did it take so long? Why didn't they see me before? Why did I have to go through the pain of being misunderstood, overlooked, or even feeling abandoned? Let me share something powerful. Matthew's Gospel says, "But seek first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." You chose to stay connected to the divine even when your heart ached. You stayed rooted in what's right even when others faltered. And now, the divine is moving on your behalf. This person couldn't see clearly before because their heart wasn't aligned with heavenly ways. But the divine is doing something now that only it can do. It's softening hearts. It's shifting perspectives. It's revealing truths. The heavenly messengers say, "You are not imagining things. You are not forgotten. You were chosen." There were times you thought about letting go completely. Times you thought maybe it was all in your head, that maybe you misread the signs. But here's the truth. The presence of divine love is never imagined. It's always assigned. And your assignment in their life was real, even if it felt silent, even if it went unacknowledged until now. Let me take you to Romans 8 verse 28, which promises, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." You have been called, and this love, this true love that's being realized now, it is part of the good that the divine is working together for your life. I sense that some of you have wept in secret, prayed for closure, begged for clarity, and now heaven is responding. This person sees you not just with human eyes, but with a spiritual recognition that goes beyond attraction. They're beginning to understand who you are, who you really are, and most importantly, who you are in their life. A divine catalyst, a vessel of divine light. The Song of Solomon says, "You are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you." And that's how they're beginning to see you now. Not through a worldly lens, but through a redeemed lens, through spiritual sight. And with that vision comes reverence, respect, a holy kind of love. If you've ever felt like your love was wasted, hear me now. It wasn't. It never was. The heavenly messengers are declaring over you today, you will reap a harvest of what you've sown in love, the kind of love that is patient, pure, and persistent. If this message is speaking to your spirit right now, take a moment to acknowledge it. That small act can help it resonate even more deeply, perhaps even reach others who need this same confirmation. Let me share with you a deep insight from the Spirit. This person is beginning to pray. Maybe they never prayed before. Maybe they only whispered desperate prayers in secret. But now, because of what your love stirred in them, they are turning to the divine. Not just to get you back, but because they felt something divine in your presence, and they want to understand it better. That's what the heavenly messengers want you to know. You've led someone closer to the divine without preaching a single sermon. Your life, your heart, your example, it has made them curious about faith, about healing, about making things right. And what they feel for you now is no longer shallow. It's sacred. Jeremiah 29 verse 13 says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." That's what they're doing now, seeking, wrestling with things, remembering. And the divine is allowing this process because it wants them to be ready. Ready for you. Ready for truth. Ready for real, honest love. So, if you feel weary in waiting, let this be your encouragement. The divine has not forgotten the promises whispered to your soul. The love you gave was never in vain. It was prophetic, it was preparation, and it was powerful. The heavenly messengers say this person has even begun to see you in dreams, divine messages, subtle signs, encounters that feel surreal. Because when the divine wants someone to remember, it will remind them in ways they cannot escape. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 tells us, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Not your time, not their time, but divine timing. And that time is drawing near. If you're still taking in this message, and I know many of you are because your spirit is being stirred, I want you to embrace another thought, blessed and ready. Because that's what you are, ready for the return, ready for the truth, ready for love that is seen, respected, and honored. And before we continue into the deeper insights the heavenly messengers have for you, take this moment to feel connected to this source of divine messages, so you never miss the next one that is sent straight to you. The heavenly messengers always deliver what is timely. And this is just the beginning of what the divine is unfolding in your life. They never expected that simply meeting you, observing you, or spending time around you would begin to rearrange the pieces of their heart that have been broken or hardened for so long. Their spirit recognized something in you that their mind couldn't articulate at first. There was peace. There was depth. There was love. Not the superficial kind, but something sacred, something pure. A love that mirrors the way the divine loves us. You didn't preach. You didn't push. You just were. And your presence alone began to soften them. The way you speak kindness even when others misunderstand you. The way you extend grace even when it's undeserved. The way your faith remains steady when storms rage. That is the example they didn't know they needed. Yes, dear one, your life is a sermon. Your love is a reflection of the divine's. And now this person, who once couldn't understand what true love really was, is beginning to see it clearly because they see you. They've had encounters in the past that left them jaded. Relationships that only wanted pieces of them, but not the whole. People who said, "I love you," but never truly meant it. They carried wounds from those betrayals. And for a long time, they believed love was pain. But then you came. You came with authenticity, with patience, with a spirit of truth. That's what the heavenly messengers are whispering today. That your example is what shook them awake. That your light, your presence, your way of walking with the divine reminded them of what love was always supposed to be. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4-7 says, "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. And it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." And that's the love they are beginning to understand because of you. Their heart, once guarded like a fortress, is now beginning to open slowly, gently, not out of obligation, but because they want to. They've seen the fruit of your spirit. Galatians 5 verses 22-23 tells us, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." You carry those fruits even when no one applauds you for it. They've watched you bless people in secret. They've seen you pray when no one was looking. They noticed how you comfort others even when you need comfort yourself. These are the things that are rewriting the definition of love in their mind. Let this message wash over you. It was never about you striving to make someone love you. It was never about you forcing your way into someone's heart. It was always about being who the divine created you to be. Because in doing that, you became the mirror they needed to see what love truly is. You may have felt overlooked at times, like your love wasn't reciprocated, like your efforts went unnoticed. But the heavenly messengers are saying now they saw it all. The divine saw it all. And more importantly, the person you're connected to, they finally see it now, too. Isaiah 43 verse 19 reminds us, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" And what's springing up in their heart is a new revelation, a fresh understanding, a transformation that started because of your obedience to love well, even when it wasn't returned the same way. This person isn't just feeling affection. They're realizing love is a choice, a commitment, a divine force. They now understand that love is not measured by grand gestures, but by consistent grace. They've seen you love with wisdom, love with patience, love with endurance. And that has made them question every shallow connection they once called love. Now they long for the kind of connection that builds them up, that pushes them closer to the divine, that brings peace, not confusion. And they realize that's you. You didn't have to chase. You didn't have to beg. You simply had to be. And that alone became the truth they couldn't deny. They're reflecting on how you always led with peace, how you brought clarity instead of chaos, how you spoke life into them when they were used to being torn down. And slowly, the lies they believed about love are unraveling. Jeremiah 31 verse 3 says, "I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness." That's how you've loved them. That's what they're beginning to mirror back. This is not just a story of romantic awakening. This is a spiritual one, a divine intervention, because the divine is using you, dear one, as the vessel through which they are rediscovering what it means to be truly seen, truly valued, and truly loved. They now associate your presence with peace, your name with safety, your voice with encouragement, your actions with truth. It's not just what you've done that's changing them. It's who you are. Your walk with the divine has made them realize they want the same. They don't want to live in fear anymore. They don't want to run from vulnerability anymore. They don't want temporary love anymore. They want what you carry. Matthew 5 verse 16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." That's what's happening now. Your light has been shining, and now this person is not just seeing you. They're beginning to see the divine through you, and the heavenly messengers are rejoicing. Because what you didn't know is that every time you chose to stay faithful, every time you chose to forgive, every time you chose to believe and love again, you were sowing seeds. And now those seeds are sprouting into a revelation in this person's life. They're having moments of divine clarity. They're praying more. They're questioning old habits. They're evaluating their decisions. Why? Because you became a mirror of divine love. And now they see you, not just your face, not just your talents, but your soul, your values, your inner strength. They realize now that real love is not just about what someone looks like, but who they are in the quiet moments, who they are when no one is watching, who they are when others are hurting. They've come to this realization: if I want love like that, I need to become love like that. Romans 12 verses 9 to 10 tells us, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. That's what they're seeking now. Sincerity, honor, devotion. And all of it was planted in their heart because of you. Even if they haven't spoken it yet, even if their actions haven't caught up to their revelation, the truth is they're in awe of you, in awe of how you've loved, how you've endured, how you've stayed grounded in your faith. You've awakened something holy in them, and they'll never be the same. You may feel like giving up on love sometimes, like it's too hard, like no one understands your heart. But the heavenly messengers want you to hear this. Someone does understand now. Someone finally gets it. Someone finally sees what they couldn't see before. And they don't just see you as a person. They see you as a gift, a divine appointment, a soul sent to remind them that true love still exists. Psalm 37 verse 4 tells us, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." And your desire to be loved in truth, to be seen in spirit, to be chosen in honesty, it is coming into alignment now. Because the moment they realized what true love is, they also realized they don't want to live another day without it. So stay anchored, dear one. Keep walking in faith. Keep trusting that divine timing is never off, because what's being done behind the scenes is greater than what you can see right now. The person who once ran from love is now running toward it. Because of you, they're remembering your words, your laughter, your faith. They're recalling the times you encouraged them when they didn't even realize they needed encouragement. They're replaying conversations in their mind, seeing them with new understanding. What once seemed ordinary now feels sacred. Even their dreams are starting to shift. They're dreaming about you, dreaming about healing, dreaming about what a future built on faith could actually look like. The heavenly messengers are confirming this in your spirit today. The walls they built around their heart are beginning to fall. The fears they held so tightly are beginning to melt. And the desire to experience love the right way, the divinely ordained way, is now stronger than their pride, stronger than their fear, stronger than their past. This is the divine breakthrough, the moment where heaven touches earth through your obedience to love rightly. If this message resonates with you, let your heart respond in faith. Affirm this shift by embracing the thought, blessed and ready. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. Your love is being remembered, reflected, and returned. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to feel connected to this flow of divine revelations. There's more spiritual insight coming your way that will uplift and align you with the divine's perfect timing. The journey of love is not always easy. But when you walk it with the divine, it becomes holy. And now someone who once didn't understand that, now does because of you. They're not only reflecting on who you are, they're reflecting on who they've been. That's what your presence has done. It's become a mirror that reveals not only their longing for love, but the places where they've neglected themselves, neglected the divine, and neglected what really matters. This is more than a realization of, I miss this person. It's a soul-deep understanding that you're a turning point in their life. That everything before you is preparation, and everything after you must be intention. No more games, no more delays, no more denying what their heart has known from the moment your paths crossed. They realized something else, too. They didn't just fall in love with you. They fell in love with the way you love the divine. And that, dear one, is what makes you unforgettable. It's what makes you different. It's what makes your love sacred. See, there's a weight to divine love. It's not fleeting. It doesn't wither when things get tough. It doesn't depend on mood swings or temporary highs. Divine love remains. It endures. It's built on the cornerstone of divine truth. And that's the kind of love they're craving now, because they finally see that no counterfeit could ever compare. They're no longer content with shallow connections, not after experiencing your depth. They're no longer satisfied with surface-level affection, not after feeling your spiritual warmth. They're no longer willing to chase empty promises, not when they've tasted the honesty in your presence. You gave them a glimpse of Eden, a glimpse of what relationships were meant to be before the world corrupted the meaning. You offered peace, not pressure. You brought clarity, not confusion. And even when they didn't deserve it, you offered grace over and over again. That's what's waking them up in the middle of the night with your name on their heart. That's why they can't shake the thought of you. It's not obsession, it's revelation. They know now that love is not about possession. It's about partnership, about building something eternal, about reflecting the heart of heaven in the way we treat each other. And they see that in you. Their spirit is being stirred. They may not have all the words for it yet, but the shift is happening. Their priorities are changing. What used to matter no longer does. What used to distract them now feels empty. They're praying more, even if they don't fully know how. They're listening more. They're seeking guidance not from the world, but from the divine, because your example showed them that faith isn't weakness, it's strength. That love isn't control, it's surrender. That relationships aren't about completing each other, but about sharpening, growing, covering, and aligning with divine will together. Proverbs 27 verse 17 reminds us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's what you've done for them. Your presence is sharpening them spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And now, they're not just thinking about coming back into your life. They're thinking about becoming someone worthy of standing beside you, because deep down they know this isn't just any connection. This is divine. This is ordained. This is soul-aligned. They're realizing that all along it wasn't about timing. It wasn't about distance. It wasn't even about circumstances. It was about readiness. And now their soul is becoming ready. Ready to love, ready to heal, ready to commit to something bigger than themselves. You were never asking for too much. You were just asking for something real, something honest, something holy. And now they finally get that. There's a sacred weight to your presence. They feel it in their spirit. Even when you're not around, it follows them. In quiet moments, they hear your laughter. They replay your words. They feel your prayers. They sense your love like a soft echo in the chambers of their heart. You've become the voice of peace in their chaos, the memory of safety in a world that has often felt harsh, the signpost that points back to the divine when they start to lose their way. This is not by accident. This is heaven's orchestration. And the heavenly messengers are rejoicing because your obedience to love, even when it was hard, even when it felt one-sided, even when you questioned your own worth, that obedience is bringing forth fruit. Now, the seeds you planted are now breaking through the soil. What was once buried and unseen is sprouting. There's movement happening in the unseen, in the spirit, in their heart. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. And the heavenly messengers say, this is the season of awakening. The season where the person who once didn't know how to love is learning, is becoming, is moving closer to their divine assignment and closer to you. They've also realized something crucial. You don't just deserve love, you deserve love that matches your spirit. And now they're asking themselves, can I rise to that level? Can I become the kind of person who doesn't just receive love like that, but gives it? This is what spiritual transformation looks like. This is what divine alignment feels like. It begins with reflection, then revelation, then repentance, then restoration. They are reflecting. They are being revealed truth. Their heart is turning, and restoration is on the horizon. Do not be surprised when this person begins to reach out, not with empty words, but with humility, not with rehearsed speeches, but with truth. Their soul is longing to be seen by you again, not just so they can feel loved, but so they can love you rightly. This time, they're willing to unlearn the toxic patterns, willing to sit with their wounds and ask the divine to heal them, willing to break every cycle that has kept them emotionally unavailable, distracted, or afraid of intimacy. Because losing you, or the possibility of losing you, was a wake-up call from heaven. They may not have told you this, but you are their answered prayer. You're the person they never thought they'd be lucky enough to meet, the person who made them believe again, not just in love, but in the power of the divine to send the right person at the right time. They know now that what they do next matters, that how they love you going forward must reflect not just their feelings, but their growth, their integrity, their surrender to the divine's plan. This is not the season for shallow affection. This is the season for soul-deep intention. So if you've been wondering whether they've forgotten you, they haven't. If you questioned whether your love mattered, it did. And if you've doubted whether they were capable of change, they are. The divine is not finished with them. The divine is transforming them. Just as the divine has refined you in the fire, it is now refining them. And through that refinement, they are being prepared for you. Romans 8 verse 28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Even the separation, the silence, the uncertainty, it's all been working for good. Because the divine doesn't waste pain. The divine doesn't waste waiting. It uses every delay for development. And now they are developing the character needed to love you right, to protect your heart, to honor your spirit, to co-labor with you in purpose. You didn't just cross their path randomly. Your love was the spark that lit their awakening, the truth that dismantled their illusions, the invitation that brought them back to the divine. They are now seeing with spiritual eyes. They are now hearing with a willing heart. They are now desiring not just any love, but divine love. And when divine love calls, the soul answers. It may take time. It may take courage. But this transformation is real. Heaven has confirmed it, and the heavenly messengers are guiding every step. So do not grow weary in your well-doing. Galatians 6 verse 9 promises, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Your harvest is closer than it seems. Your prayers have not returned void. Your obedience has not been in vain. They're being drawn back to the place where they first saw the light in you. And this time, they will come ready. If this message confirms what you've been sensing in your spirit, embrace the thought, I receive this love. And if you felt encouraged today, feel free to share this with someone who needs a divine reminder that love, real, divinely ordained love, is still possible, still powerful, and still on the way. Stay faithful, stay open, stay in alignment, because someone is awakening to the truth that your love didn't just change their life, it saved their soul. And now, dear one, as heaven continues to work behind the scenes, you must remain in a posture of faith, because the more they awaken to your impact, the more you must guard your heart with wisdom and grace. Yes, this person is changing. Yes, this person is drawing nearer. But that does not mean you must sit and wait in silence. This is your season of preparation, too. The divine is not asking you to pause your life for someone. It is asking you to align with its will so you can receive the fullness of what's coming. And it is coming. Your love was the seed. Your faithfulness was the soil. And now the fruit is beginning to blossom. The person the divine has been transforming is walking toward you with new eyes, with a renewed heart, with a spirit that has been refined in fire. You may not recognize them at first. They may sound softer. They may look lighter. They may move with intention, speak with humility, and carry peace where there was once restlessness. This is how you'll know it's real. They won't just return for comfort. They'll return with covenant in their heart. They won't just say they've changed. They'll show you. And more importantly, you will feel it in your spirit because the Holy Spirit will confirm it. The divine never leads you into confusion. Its love brings clarity. Its promises bring peace. Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." The word the divine spoke over your love is not returning void. The love it planted in your hearts is not dissolving. The bond it ordained is not breaking. This journey has not been easy, but it has been purposeful. And perhaps now you can look back and see why certain things didn't work out before, why certain doors were closed, why you were separated, why you had to grow apart in order to grow together later. Because the divine had to work on the foundation first. It had to remove what was false, expose what was hidden, heal what was wounded, and teach you both how to love without fear. And now the door is being reopened. Not the same door that led to confusion, but a divine door that leads to clarity, to peace, to legacy, and to love that reflects heaven. This person you care about has been through a divine undoing. The divine stripped them of pride. It stripped them of distractions. It stripped them of ego, not to punish, but to purify, so that when they come to you again, they come holy, not hollow. They come present, not pretending. They come ready. You are not receiving the same version of them. You are receiving a version that has sat with the divine, a version that has cried out, a version that has confronted their own flaws and sins and failures, a version that now values what they once took for granted. And that includes you. They are realizing that you are not just a passing chapter. You are a central part of the story. The one who was sent to be both a mirror and a messenger, a vessel of love and truth, a reflection of divine patience and grace. They now understand the depth of what you were offering, and they are rising to meet it. No, it won't be perfect. No love story ever is. But what makes this different is intention. It's the willingness to work through instead of walking away. It's the ability to say, let's put the divine first this time. This person has seen what life is like without you, and it was hollow, spiritually empty, quietly aching. But now they are realizing that loving you was never the problem. The problem was that they didn't yet know how to love themselves in the way the divine does. They had to see themselves as worthy of love. They had to believe that healing was possible. They had to understand that divine connections required divine responsibility. And now they do. Don't be surprised if they begin speaking words you never thought you'd hear from them. Words like, "I'm sorry I didn't know how to love you then. I see now that you were a gift. I've asked the divine to help me love better this time." These are not just apologies. These are signs of transformation. And when someone has truly been transformed, you will see the fruit of it. You will feel it in how they treat you, how they prioritize you, how they speak life into you. They're not coming back to repeat cycles. They're coming back to redeem time. Yes, time was lost. Yes, things were said or left unsaid. But our divine source is a restorer. It is not limited by calendars or clocks. It is the author of time itself. And when it restores, it is complete. Joel 2 verse 25 says, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. The years you thought were wasted, the tears you cried in private, the nights you spent questioning your worth. The divine saw all of it, and it is restoring all of it." This person is just one part of the restoration. The healing they're walking in now is tied to the prayers you prayed. The growth they're experiencing is connected to the grace you extended. The new beginnings ahead are the result of seeds sown in love and covered in faith. You are not just waiting on someone to change. You are watching a divine plan unfold. So what do you do now? You stay surrendered. You stay prayerful. You stay discerning. Because when they return, it will not be for you to fix them. It will be for you to receive them. Only if the divine confirms that they are now who it needs them to be for the calling on your life. Remember, love is not just about emotion. It is about alignment. And sometimes, distractions can appear right before a promise shows up. So stay close to the divine. Stay rooted in truth. Stay guarded, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because this time it has to be different. This time it has to be real. This time it must reflect the glory of the divine. And oh, dear one, the heavenly messengers are singing because a reunion is near. Not just of two hearts, but of two souls that have found their way back to each other through the light of heaven. If this message resonated with you, if it felt like it was speaking directly to your heart, then it was for you. Don't question it. Don't doubt it. Let this be the confirmation you asked for. You are not crazy for believing in this love. You're not weak for holding on. You are faithful, and heaven sees your faith. So here's what I want you to do now. Embrace the thought, I receive this divine love in your spirit to seal this word. If this message has spoken life into your situation, acknowledge it. Share it with a friend, a family member, anyone you believe needs to be reminded that true love is still possible and that the divine still writes the best love stories. Make sure you stay connected to this flow of messages from heaven. And if you believe in the mission behind these messages, if you feel the Spirit move through this kind of sharing and you want to support what it does, we invite you to show your appreciation. Every act of support helps continue to spread encouragement and reach hearts across the world with divine truth and hopeful words. Your support, both spiritual and tangible, means the world. Until next time, stay faithful, stay hopeful, and stay open to love. Because what's meant for you, what the divine has designed for you, is already on its way, and it will arrive right on time. You are loved. You are chosen. You are not forgotten. Come back soon for another divine message. Heaven is never done speaking, and we're here to listen together. Amen.